What up guys, SuMetal983 here bringing us another updates and purchases, and I believe this is 41, and I know it's been a while since my last one. February I believe was the last one, and I did plan to get one done around April, somewhere along there, but things got really busy in my life, and I thought, you know what, I'll just do it next week, and that just kept on getting pushed back, and now we're in June going into July, so yeah, things took a little bit longer this time, but what can you do? But anyway, updates and purchases time. We've got a couple of updates and quite a bit of purchases that have mounted up, quite a few CDs and merch, the usual shit, so let's crack on with things. And first one, we're going to get back to the shout-outs. Now, it's been a few updates and purchases since I've done these, and like as I said, I've just been enjoying the YouTubers that I'd pre-mentioned before in other updates and purchases, but this time we've got some new guys that I've been checking out lately and really enjoying their content. The first one is the more well-known of the two, which is NOCTURNAL on YouTube. He's a guitar player, and he mainly orientates around metalcore and stuff like that, but his videos are very entertaining, and especially his heaviest riffs in different tunings and stuff. I've been really enjoying them, and they've been kind of influencing us a little bit as a guitar player, well, an attempted guitar player. But yeah, make sure you check out his channel. He's an awesome YouTuber, link down below as per usual. And now the next one, I'm going to have to use my phone to get this right, but it's my next shout out is going to be to NATTSKOG. Yeah, no good at pronunciation, as you guys know, but my buddy Jorgen, sorry, I'm shit at pronunciation, but I've really been enjoying his channel a lot lately. His channel has got so much good quality music on it. Like, he's runs his own label, if I'm not mistaken, called AHPN Records, so check those out. I'll leave a link down below. And he also is a writer for Legion of Darkness, also link down below. And yeah, make sure you check him out. He's an awesome YouTuber, and I believe he's got a couple of bands. I'm not good at pronunciation. I'm not even going to attempt that one, so sorry buddy, but yeah, make sure you check his channel. He shows a lot of great quality metal out there. He's got us into quite a few bands recently through his I believe it's 10 releases you should have heard, something along those lines. But make sure you check it out. It's an awesome series and an awesome channel, so link down below, make sure you check it out. Awesome YouTuber. Yeah, so any other updates? Oh yeah, I might as well mention, and kind of mention, as you may or may not know, I've got a new band, but I've got a proper announcement coming very soon about it. But a link will be in the description. We're called Casting Tefra. It's a kind of slamming deathcore band, and we've got some material in the works at the moment. It's going to be coming very soon, so keep an eye out on Facebook, link down below, and it'll be further down in the description because it'll be going on my future descriptions of future reviews and stuff like that. So yeah, make sure you check it a little bit further down. We've got an Instagram as well, so follow that if you're interested. But anyway, is there anything else on the update side of things? Not really, to be honest, but yeah, more updates will come in the future. There's a lot of things that are upcoming that I do want to talk to you about that is non-music related, so keep an eye out for that in maybe a future updates and purchases or a separate video. Speaking of which, I have got a video planned that's coming up, which I don't have any idea for a title for it or a description yet, so but I know what the content is, and the video is literally ready to go. I recorded it about 2-3 months ago, and I'm still just trying to work it out, but that video will come fairly soon. But yeah, more reviews and stuff like that are coming in the upcoming future. I've got quite a few to get through, but I'm going to try and get through them as quickly as I can, so we'll see what happens in the upcoming future. But yeah, we've got some shit to showcase today from other bits and bobs, and then we'll go on to some merch, and then into the CDs, which we all know and love. So let's crack on with things. So anyway, the first one, just some little bits and bobs. I believe I got this for my birthday from my fiance, and it's just a little thing. You may have noticed it on my desk during my reviews, but she got us this pop figure of Thanos in his armor with the, you know, the sword thingamajiggy. Yeah, I absolutely love Endgame, I might as well say, and I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, but yeah, this figure. It just fits perfectly on my desk. It usually goes next to me CD of choice, so I'm going to try and squeeze them in. Yeah, should we keep them there? You barely will see them, but yeah, let's keep an eye out for them for future reviews and videos and stuff. But anyway, next up, I went to see Disneyland with my fiance for our anniversary, and I got a mug also while I was there, but it's in the wash at the moment, so I'm not going to bother getting that. But I got myself a little magnet while I was there of my favourite character from the Disney universe, Stitch. Yeah, I love Stitch, so yeah, I'm really happy to have that, and that also fits on my desk right there. Barely visible, but what can you do? But I kind of went a bit nuts, I'm not going to lie. I got a keyring, like a two-part keyring of like the female Stitch, I can't remember its name, and Stitch in like a magnet, and I gave one to me fiance, and I got that, but and also the mug, which maybe you've seen it in a previous CD review, but I don't know, or album review, whatever. But anyway, yeah, this is the next thing I got, which is a little glass display paperweight thing to go on my desk of Stitch again. Yeah, he's my favourite character. Shut up. Anyway, but yeah, I decided to get this awesome little figure, and that also goes on my desk. I'll put it there so you can barely see it. So yeah, hope you like that. Next thing I'll showcase this, because this was a gift from my parents for my birthday, and yeah, I'm over the moon with this. I don't have anywhere to put it right now, but I will find somewhere to put it. But she got us this display with the skull and the ram skull, or deer skull, my bad, and some little fake candles on there. Yeah, me uncle makes these. I believe he's got an eBay store or something like that, so I'll link it down below if I can get a link. But he makes these, and me mum brought this home once, said it was going in the living room, and I was like, I need that. I'm sorry, I'm taking it off your hands. And she ended up giving us it for my birthday, so I'm really happy about that. Absolutely love it. So yeah, that will get displayed at some point. So yeah. And by the way, if you hear some noise out the back, it's because we're getting some housework done, like housework as in builders all around. So if you hear a lot of noise, sorry. Anyway, let's move on to some games. Well, specifically a game, because I wanted to get this when I got my Xbox One, but I wanted to see a little bit more of the gameplay before I got it, and I finally pulled the trigger. It was really cheap when I got it, but I got Call of Duty World War II. Yeah, I absolutely love this game. The campaign was a bit short compared to previous games, which I know COD's not really about the campaign experience. It's more about the online experience nowadays. But needless to say, I absolutely love this game. I love the online system that they've got now. And the campaign was really good. The graphics were insanely good. And yeah, this is an absolutely fantastic game. Definitely one of the better Call of Duties in recent years. I am looking forward to Modern Warfare, the new Modern Warfare. So yeah, I'll be getting that eventually. But yeah, this is a good game so far. I do plan to get another game. I get paid, I think it's next week or the week after. I plan to get Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, I believe it's called. The remastered version of Crash Team Racing, because that was my childhood back in the day. It was my favourite game. Absolutely loved it. So I only found out a few days ago that it actually come out, and I lost me shit. And it's literally in my Amazon basket, ready to go. So I am so excited to get that. So yeah, that'll be in the next updates and purchases. Bit of a spoiler there, but you know. Anyways, we've got a couple of DVDs, not very many, as you know. I don't try and buy DVDs nowadays. I just buy them whenever I feel it. So this one I bought just after the last updates and purchases, I believe. But this is Bohemian Rhapsody, obviously the film about Freddie Mercury and Queen. Absolutely amazing film. If you haven't watched it, make sure you do so. It's great. I do want to see Rocket Man, but I've heard mixed reviews about it, so I'll just wait until it comes out on DVD probably. But anyway, next up, I got this one because it was dirt cheap and I realised I was missing it. Lee Evans, Monsters. Yeah, I saw this tour. It's obviously his last tour that he did, and I don't know if I didn't put the ticket in, so I don't know where it's gone, but yeah, I saw this tour and it was absolutely hilarious. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna buy. I think it was only like a £5 or something like that on Amazon. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get myself it. It is really funny. It's not his funniest, but it is still pretty funny. Anyway, next up is a film from, when was this? 2018, and it was an absolutely fantastic film, or it might come out late 2017. Not so sure, but yeah, this was an absolutely fantastic film. It blew my mind when I first saw it. But this is Split with James McAvoy. Yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, make sure you do so. There's another film prior to this, which I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, and then there was the follow-up, which is called Glass, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, make sure you check out this movie. It's absolutely fantastic. It blew my mind, and James McAvoy is an absolutely fantastic actor, if you ask me. So yeah, moving on from that, we have the merchandise to get through. And actually, we'll start off with the only vinyl purchase that I've made, and this one was just a necessity. I had to get it as soon as I seen it, and it is one of the best progressive metal albums, if you ask me, and loads of you may agree. Meshuggah with Obscene. Wow, what a masterpiece. This album is just too fucking good. There's so many good songs. Combustion, Electric Red, Obscene, what's the song called? I think it's Dance to a Discordant System, and obviously the famous song Bleed is an absolute jam. It's one of my vocal warm-up songs. But yeah, honestly, this album is absolutely fantastic. It's just on a double black vinyl. Yeah, with a nice opening there. Really, really nice. And has it got printed in a sleeve? No, but it's just on a black vinyl. I would have liked the colour variant, but oh well, I've already spun this, and it's absolutely fantastic sounding, and honestly, I'm so happy. As I said, I'm trying to get some of my favourite albums on vinyl, and this one definitely had to be in there. When I saw it, I was like, yep, that fits perfectly with my collection. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic, and definitely, in my opinion, Meshuggah's best album. And close second, personally, I would say is The Violent Sleep of Reason. I don't know, I just love the heaviness of that album. But anyway, next up, the merchandise, the proper merchandise anyway. We're going to start things off with a beanie that I got just before I went away. I thought it was going to be cold when we went to Paris, and I thought, I'm going to get myself a nice new beanie. So I got one of Cane Hill, some, not the new metalcore, just new metal influenced metalcore. So if you're into that sort of thing, definitely check this out. Love that logo, and it's super, super comfy. What more can you ask for from a good beanie? What can I say? Anyway, let's move on to the shirts. And the first one we're going to start off with two from Rising merch, and the first one being Arcrania with I don't know what this one's called, but it's got a really nice design on there with the sheep and the father priest guy. Some Japanese writing, I believe, down the sleeve. You can barely see it, but yeah. And then on the back, on the other side, 5 Arcrania logos in a row. Very, very nice. So yeah, I love Arcrania's new EP, and I had the Totalitarian Dystopia artwork shirt, but it's a medium and Gildan heavy style. Heavy cotton. I don't know, it was like the really thick variety, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to be wearing that. So I decided to get a nice long sleeve, because I really like long sleeves at the moment. So anyway, next up, we're going to be talking about this EP in a little bit, but I've already reviewed it, so check out the link down below when you'll find me review of it. But this is Annotations of an Autopsy with the World of Sludge artwork shirt. Really, really nice design. I absolutely love this EP, and as I said, we're going to be talking about it in a little bit, because I got the CD variant as well, so a little bit of a spoiler, but yeah, love that shirt. And obviously, as you know, I've still got the World of Sludge logo shirt, which I'm still really, really happy to own. But anyway, moving on. Next one, I showcased this in a Super Metal Recommendations, but I'm going to show it again. This is the Carcer City Farewell Tour t-shirt. Nice simple logo design with, what's that, 2012? 2002? I think it is. No, 2007 till 2019, written on the bottom there, I believe. And on the back has the final tour with the tour dates with Newcastle Head of Steam. And it says on the bottom, in the ebb and flow will always be here. And then the, you know, 2007 to 2019. Yeah, really love that design. It's really simple, and I have to say, I absolutely love Carcer City, and they've left a legacy behind, if you ask me. I'm going to be talking about them in a little bit, because I got all their releases on CD, so another spoiler, but what can you do? Next up, we have Cradle of Filth with the Cryptoriana, the Seductiveness of Decay shirt. Yeah, I've been after this artwork shirt for so long, and I was really happy when, I believe it was Merch got it, and I just instantly placed my order, so I was really, really happy about that. Next up, I got this when I saw the band in Manchester, Slamchester, I should say, but this is Extermination Dismemberment, nice, really nice, brutal death metal style artwork shirt. Absolutely love that, and they were so fucking heavy, man. And I have got their set list, their full set from that show, which my buddy Sean Payne from my band recorded for us to put on my YouTube, but we've transferred it to my phone, and for some reason I can't find it in my files, so I need to figure out some way of getting it off there and putting it on this YouTube channel. So keep an eye out for that in the upcoming future, as well as I've got some footage of Visigoth, Bewitcher, and I think I've got a couple more videos to go up. I don't know, we'll see what happens in the upcoming future. Anyway, now this is an absolute gem, this shirt. I'm really, really happy to have it. It's one of my favourite death metal albums. This is Immolation with Majesty and Decay. They recently reissued this, I believe it's the 10 years since it's come out, 2009 I believe, with the track list on the back. Immolation, Majesty and Decay. But yeah, absolutely love this shirt. I mean, Majesty and Decay is one of the best death metal records ever written, if you ask me. I mean, just the title song alone, just that riff, oh, it's just mean and heavy. Love it. Anyway, definitely this album, I talked about in my top albums of last year, and it was very low, but it honestly has probably worked its way up past a lot of stuff. But yeah, this is Rise of the North Star with the a Legacy of She shirt. I can't remember what exactly it's called, but it's got some print down the left hand side and some print down the right, which I can't. One for All, I believe it's none. I can't read this, but yeah, and on the back it's got Legacy of She on the back. Yeah, I absolutely love this long sleeve. It's absolutely so comfortable, and I absolutely love Rising the North Stars, Legacy of She. It's just such a good album. If you're into new metal, beatdown, hardcore, metalcore, groove metal, check it out. It's fantastic. Anyway, next up, some local promotion right here. Starves to Survive with their I can't remember what this shirt's called off the top of my head, but yeah, local new metal core sort of bands. Yeah, if you're into that sort of stuff, definitely check these guys out. Their new EP I reviewed on the channel, so link down below where you can check it out. I believe these next two are reviewed releases on this channel. So yeah, next up is me boys Street Soldier. I got this from Rising Merch once again. It says Street Soldier down this side, and I believe it says Total Elimination. Yeah, Total Elimination on the other side. Yeah, really love this long sleeve, and I absolutely love Street Soldier. Make sure you check out my review of their EP, Northern Hate. One of the best EPs of the year. Link down below. Another review that I've done this year is of the new Traitors album, Repent, and I placed my pre-order for it, and I got the CD, which you'll see in a little bit, but I also got the long sleeve, which is now my favourite long sleeve that I own. Has the artwork in red on there, Traitors logo on there, Traitors logos on there, and on the back, Repent with the track list. Absolutely love this long sleeve. I'm probably going to wear this to me next photo shoot with Cast and Tefra, so we'll see what happens in the upcoming future, but love that design. Anyway, next up, this is the most recent shirt that I got, or merchandise, but this is Varials with the, I can't remember what this shirt's called, but I think it's called the Eye or something like that, but it says, You Watch Me Suffocate, with a really nice design on the front, with a spiky variation on their logo, and then it says, what does it say, in Darkness on the back. Love that design. Kind of reminds us of Metallica's what's the album? Kill 'Em All. There we are. It kind of reminds us of that artwork. But anyway, moving on. And now this one was a birthday present from me fiance, and I'm really, really happy she got us this. She also got us a pre-order bundle of Vulvadinia's new album, Mob Justice, shirt, CD, and a poster with a load of stickers, I believe. That was the bundle, so I'm really, really happy about that, and that will be coming fairly soon, because obviously it's the end of June, so release date fairly soon. So expect a review, probably. We'll see. Shut up. Anyway, but she got us this Gunishment hoodie with just the Nike logo in camo saying Slam, and then on the, I believe it's the left hand side, yeah, the Gunishment logo, just basic font on there. Absolutely love this hoodie. It's so comfy, and I absolutely love it. It's just so, yeah, it's just so comfy and just so fun. Absolutely love that. So yeah, link down below to Gunishment's Big Cartel. I don't think they've released any music yet, but hopefully in the future we'll see what happens. Anyways, now we get to the big lot, the CDs. We've got a lot to get through, so I'm going to try and breeze through this. So you may not see the Thanos and the Killswitch Engage album there, because there's quite a lot to get through. So let's see what happens. Starting off with the new After the Burial with Evergreen. Really solid album from these guys. They never disappoint. The new Amon Amarth with Berserker, which Digipack or Digislave, whichever you want to call it. Definitely an improvement on the last couple of albums, but yeah, it's solid if you ask me. The new Annotations of an Autopsy EP, World of Sludge, link down below, check out my review. Amazing, amazing EP, and a return to form if you ask me. Next up is Anteria with The Age of Silence. Yeah, I've already got a CD of these guys, and I saw this on eBay pretty cheap, so I thought, you know what, I might as well get it. I haven't listened to it in quite a few years, so that'd be nice to rekindle with that one. The new Any Given Day with Overpower. Solid metalcore album from 2019. Another one I reviewed, Artificial Pathogen with Kaleidoscope of Human Suffering. Yeah, one of the best EPs of the year. As I said, I might do a top EPs of 2019 because there's been so many good ones, if you ask me. So we'll see what happens in the upcoming future. August Burns Red with Messengers. One of the best metalcore albums of all time, if you ask me. We've got a couple of Avatar albums here. We've got Avatar with Hail the Apocalypse. Absolutely fantastic album. Love that. And I believe this is their latest album entitled Avatar Country. Love that album. Check it out. Might appear in the Super Metal recommendations in the upcoming future. Next up, I got two Between the Buried and Me EPs, if I'm not mistaken. This is Automator 1, which is this one. Definitely my favourite of the two. And as you guessed it, I got Automator 2. Yeah, this is a great release in general, but both of them are absolutely fantastic. Don't listen to one without the other. Next up, I got this at the gig when I saw them with Visigoth. This is Bewitcher with Under the Witching Cross, which is this one. Another great release from 2019, and while I was at the gig, I might as well show this. I got it signed by the guys, and also the new drummer who's absolutely killing it, if you ask me. So yeah, make sure you check out this if you're into your black metal, thrash or speed metal. Excellent stuff. Next up, the new Blood Youth with Starve. Excellent album. I have got a review of this ready to go live, but I'm not sure if I'm going to put it live because it wasn't my greatest. But yeah, make sure you check it out. Excellent album. Next up, I got these at the gig when I saw the band. So yeah, I got Bloodshot Dawn's studio albums. The first one, which is self-titled, and you might be able to see. You can see one there. I got it signed while I was at the gig. And I also got their second album, Demons, which in my opinion is their best work. And then we have their latest album, which is Reanimation, which is this one. As you can see, I got it signed once again. Great set of albums, great set of lads, and they killed it. Honestly, they killed it. Now, this one showcased in the last update of purchases. There's another two, I believe, that I showcased in the last one, but they were very late in the video and they were out of order, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to show them again. But this is Body Snatcher with Death of Me Deluxe Edition. Love this album. It's a very rare album to get your hands on in the UK. I'd just like to shout out to Dan for getting my hands on it, so thank you, dude, I really appreciate it. Next up, I reviewed the new Borders album with Purify, and as you can see, I got it signed by the guys. One of the best releases of 2019. Fantastic stuff. We've got two Born of Osiris albums. Excuse me. This is The Discovery. Got this really cheap on eBay. It's alright. And we've got the new one entitled The Simulation, which definitely is a vast improvement over the past couple of albums. A lot more catchier, and it's a lot shorter as well. Really didn't expect that, but oh well. Next up, we have Bull of My Valentine with Gravity. Honestly, I didn't like this album at the start, but my buddy Sean was like, you know, you need to give this another listen. So I gave it another listen, and I really enjoyed it. So maybe I just wasn't in the mood for metalcore, but yeah, absolutely fantastic album. Make sure you check it out if you haven't already, or give it a second chance if you want. Anyway, next up, I mentioned Carcer City, and the guys had 3 of these on the tour, but they didn't have one of their releases, which I'll get to in a second. But at the show, I picked up their debut album, I believe, which is called, sorry, I can't read. The Life We Have Chosen. The Life We Have Chosen, yeah, sorry, I can't read the font. And as you can see, got it signed by the guys. Thanks a lot, really appreciate it. Then I got their second album, The Road Journals. Yeah, and as you can see, got it signed. This one's just a slipcase, but either way. Actually, I'm just going to show them in order. But I did feature this in Super Metal Recommendations. Make sure you check it out. This is, sorry, their second album, Infinite Unknown. Yeah, absolutely love this album. Fantastic stuff. If you're into metalcore, definitely check that one out. And I also picked up, excuse me, picked up their final EP, and it says so at the top, called Silent War, which is this one right here. Definitely a more chilled back sort of listen, but it's still absolutely fantastic. Make sure you check out Carcer City. They've left a legacy, as I said before. Excellent stuff. Next up, we've got Child of Waste with The Stillborn King. This is released through Chugcore, and it's number 6 of 40. Down the bottom there. Yeah, make sure you check this out if you want some solid deathcore. Excellent, excellent stuff. Next up, I picked up a couple of Contortionist albums, and this is the first one of 2. This is Intrinsic. Yeah, haven't listened to this one in a while, but yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. If you're into progressive metalcore, definitely check this one out. And then we have their other album, because I've already got Exoplanet, I believe it is, I've got on CD, so I decided to get a couple more. But I got Language as well, because this is my mate's favourite album, and he said, you need to give it another listen, and I gave it another listen, and it blew my mind once again, so yeah, I had to pick it up. Excellent stuff. And I'll move that one to the side, and we'll move on to the next pile, which starts off with the new Darkthrone album entitled Old Star, which is this one right here. Yeah, solid album from Darkthrone. Definitely better than Arctic Thunder, if you ask me. I definitely see it has a bit of black metal, a bit of heavy metal. It's got an all-around different atmosphere compared to what I've heard of Darkthrone, but it's still very unique. But I really do love this album, so if you haven't heard it, make sure you do so. Darkthrone is back. Anyway, next up, we have Death Angel, Relentless Retribution. Another great thrash album for the collection. If you haven't heard this, make sure you do so. The new Devin Townsend with Empath, I believe how it's pronounced. Yeah, it's the deluxe edition. I'm not going to get it all out, but yeah, it's folded out like that. And then there's a digipack in there. So yeah, it's really well thought out digipack. But yeah, this album, oh, it'll take your breath away if you haven't heard it. It's just beautiful. It's heavy. It's got everything going for it. There's a lot going for it. One of the best of 2019, definitely. Next up, some classic death metal right here. I only recently checked this out and picked it up, but honestly, it's classic. Dismember like an ever-flowing stream. So glad to finally get this in the collection. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic stuff. If you haven't heard it, get with the times, man. Next up, we have Dragged into Sunlight with Hatred for Mankind. Yeah, I featured this in Super Metal Recommendations recently. If you haven't checked out that episode, make sure you do so. That's the one where I mentioned Carcer City, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, excellent album. I used to hate these guys back in the day, but honestly, absolutely love them now, especially that album. I haven't heard the second album in a long time, so I'm going to give that one a shot. And the collaboration albums, definitely need to check those out. Anyway, next up we have Elender with Leben Snimmer. Fuck's sake, pronunciation is shit today, but yeah, this one. Another great release from 2019. If you like atmospheric black metal, like Druk, for example, then you'll find something to love about these guys. Excellent, excellent stuff, if you ask me. Next up, the new Elvite with Ataganatos. Fuck's sake, man. Yeah, but the new one, yeah, great album. Definitely better than the last album. Origins, I believe, was the last album. I know they did a folk album in between, but oh well. But yeah, this is a fantastic album. But it's still not as good as Slania, because that's just quality. Anyway, next up we've got a couple of albums from Era, and this is the first one, Augment. Some really solid kind of progressive metalcore sort of stuff, so if you want some good stuff, definitely check this one out. And then I also got their latest album entitled, well, first off, it came out in 2018, entitled Neon. Amazing artwork, and this is a really solid album, so check it out. Next up, another Every Time I Die album for the collection, The Big Dirty, riffs galore right there. The new Fallujah, Undying Light. Definitely their best album in a long time, if you ask me. Even though I did enjoy their other album, but it's definitely their best since The Harvest Womb, for example. Anyway, moving on. This is Fever 333 with Strength in Numbers. Yeah, if you haven't heard these guys, it's basically the former singer of Let Live, and I can't remember who else is in this band, but yeah, excellent. So kind of rappy, post-hardcore, alternative rock sort of stuff. Really unique sound, but really good, if you ask me. Next up, we have the brand new Filth album, The Burden of Isolation, I believe it's called. I believe it's called that. I can't exactly read the font, but yeah, this one, so heavy. I mean, wow, definitely one of the best down-tempo bands going, if you ask me. The new Flesh God Apocalypse with Velenor, I believe how it's pronounced. This is the special edition with the bonus DVD, which I haven't watched yet, but I'm really looking forward to, because this, in my opinion, it's way better than King, if you ask me. Excellent stuff. Next up, I reviewed this one also, From Serenity with Reclaim. Excellent album. If you haven't heard this, make sure you do so. Definitely one of the best of 2019. It's in the spotlight to be album of the year so far, but we'll see what happens come year's end. Next up, we've got the debut album from Garls Weird with Gaster Ghost Invited, which is this one. Yeah, breathtaking. Now, I'm definitely very unique for black metal, if you ask me, but it's definitely something that you just need to get your ears around. Next up, another one I've reviewed. I've done a lot of reviewing since February, but yeah, this is Ghost Iris with Apple of Discord. Definitely one of the heaviest progressive metalcore releases of 2019, and something you definitely need to hear if you're into that sort of stuff. But yeah, really nice digipack right there, and I believe these are going on tour with From Serenity and After the Burial later in the year, so I cannot wait for that. I'm hopefully going to be able to attend in Manchester, so if anyone's going, I should see you there. Next up, I might be reviewing this, so I'm not going to say too much, but this is the new Glory Hammer with Legends from Beyond the Galactic Terror Vortex. Yeah, that's a mouthful. Me and my mate Simon at work, we'll talk about this a lot. This is such a good album, but yeah, I'm going to talk more in a future album review, but we'll see what happens. Next up, I don't know I think this is the second latest Hagen album, entitled Affinity. Yeah, some really good progressive metal, I think it is. Progressive rock, progressive metal. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, great album if you ask me. Next up, another one I've showcased before, but I'm going to showcase again. The latest Hands Like Houses album, Anon. Yeah, good album. I much prefer their last album, in all honesty. Another one I've reviewed, the new Harbinger, Compelled to Suffer. Riffs, man. Absolute riffs. And as you can see, cheers to the guys for signing it. Really appreciate it. And check out my review also. Next up, the new Heart of a Coward, The Disconnect. I might review this one as well, but we'll see what happens. But absolutely amazing stuff, if you ask me. And then another one I've reviewed on the channel. This is the new Herod album, entitled Sombre Dessein. Sombre Dessein. Yeah. Check out my review if you want to hear more. And there's one thing I noticed about this when I got the CD. Obviously, the album was released in 2019. But, don't know if you can see, it says 2018 at the top there. So, yeah. A little bit confusing, but yeah. Nonetheless, some really good progressive sludge metal right there. Let's just see. Yeah, it's the wrong pile. So, yeah. Let's move that one forward. Let's go. Next up, another one I've reviewed, and something a little bit different. The new Hexvessel with All Tree. Yeah, definitely check this out if you want some chill back sort of music. Excellent, excellent stuff. Next up, this is I Am with Life Through Torment, which is this one right here. I wasn't too big on their latest album. Can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but when I was placing an order through Chugcore, I saw this was on there and I immediately put it on my basket. So yeah, really happy to finally own this. So good. Check them out. Next up, the new I Prevail with Trauma. Got a couple of In the Midst of Lions albums. We've got this one called Out of Darkness. Discovered this years ago and I've been wanting it for so long, so I'm really glad that I've finally got it. And it's on a weird sort of you know, digipack sort of format. It's really weird that, but yeah. No, needless to say, it's an absolutely fantastic album if you ask me. I need to give it another listen because it's too good. And then the last album of theirs that I care about was The Heart of Man. Yeah, cheers to Dan from Holocron Records for selling me them. The new Ingested EP entitled Call of the Void. Yeah, I've just recently got this in. Really happy to own this, and now I've got all of Ingested stuff, bar their split with Castigator and Crepitation, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember, but yeah, the Northwest Slam Fest split. I need to get that at some point. Anyway, I know it's very rare, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, next up, Insurgents with Every Living Creature Dies Alone. Yeah, some really solid metalcore, but it's really influenced by deathcore, so if you're into that sort of thing, definitely check this out. Excellent stuff. And this is the final one that I showcased in the last updates and purchases but brought forward. This is Envisions with Between You and Me. As you know, I got the shirt as well, so yeah, and it's signed, so I'm really, really happy about that. Definitely one of the best of 2019. Let's try and speed this up a little bit there. The Kennedy Veil with Imperium. Happy to have this, got it pretty cheap on Amazon. Lividity with Perseverance. Solid, brutal death metal. Definitely the best in their discography, if you ask me. Next up, a couple of Lock and Key releases. This is their debut EP, The Divide. Really happy to have that. And I believe this is their debut album, Peaceless. Yeah, I know they've recently returned, and I got these from Dan at the same time I got the In the Midst of Lions, so cheers, dude, really appreciate it. And next up we have Managarm with Fornal Das Agor. You know I'm not good at pronunciation, but yeah, some really cool folky black metal sort of stuff. Really amazing stuff. Definitely check this album out. Definitely an unsung hero of 2019 so far, if you ask me. Now, I know we're speeding up, but I've got to talk about these ones. So, I've got Megadeth's Rust in Peace album remixed and remastered, and I forgot how thick and juicy that album sounds compared to the original mix. And I found on YouTube the remixed and remastered version of Peace Sells But Who's Buying, and I thought, you know what, I need to check that out, see if it's any different from the original, because I'd had like an original mix kind of version in my collection, and I was blown away by it. I was like, this this changes the game so much, and I thought, you know what, Countdown to Extinction's probably going to be the same. So kept an eye on eBay for a while on looking for the remixed and remastered version. I saw a few copies of like odd ones go by, and I never actually bought them. Those or something else, taking my money. So I eventually found someone selling all of them as a set. So you know what, I decided to pull the plug and get all of them together. So I got all of them together, so I'm going to run through them, and I believe they're in the wrong order, so I'm just going to correct them, because we're going to go backwards, kind of, because they make the image on your shelf of the Megadeth character. So yeah, we're going to start from the bottom and make our way up. So we've got Peace Sells, But Who's Buying? The second album, obviously, easily my favourite of theirs. Well, actually second favourite behind Rust in Peace. And then we have So Far, So Good, So What? And then Rust in Peace. So I've got two copies like this. So I'm going to give my old Megadeth albums to a friend of mine. So yeah, really happy to have this one again, somewhat. Anyway, next up, Countdown to Extinction. Love the sound of this one compared to the original. And next up we have Euthanasia. Yeah, haven't listened to that one. I still haven't listened to So Far, So Good, So What? So I need to get around to getting around all these. But anyway, next up we have Cryptic Writings. Yeah. And then we have the last one in the remixed and remastered set is Risk, which obviously I haven't listened to the last three and So Far, So Good, So What? So we'll get around. And I still need to get Killing Is Business and Business Is Good. I still need to pick that one up, and a few more other ones in between. But I recently also picked up, when I got those, I also placed an order for their latest album entitled Dystopia, which obviously features Chris Adler from Lamb of God on drums, which I really, really enjoyed this album. It's definitely way better than that piece of shit Super Collider, but, you know, it's a great album if you ask me. Well, not great, it's a good album. Anyway, moving on, we have the new New Year's Day album entitled Unbreakable. Really love this album. If you're into your alt metal, definitely check that out. Next up, we have Nightmare with Cacophony of Terror, which is this one, released under Season of Mist. If you like your progressive death metal, definitely check that one out. The new Osiah album entitled Kingdom of Lies. Now this one I do want to give a bit of a showcase, because it's really nice digipack in general, but you get on the left hand side, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this one is the lyric book, which is awesome. The lyrics are absolutely outstanding on this album. And then on the other side, this is what makes it very unique, but I really, really like it. So, excuse me. We have a storybook version of the album. So if that's up your alley, definitely check this one out. It's a very interesting read. So if you want something to get your ears around and dwell into, then this is definitely the album for you. But in general, this is such a heavy album. So good. Do I prefer it to Terra Firma? I don't know. It's probably on the same level, if you ask me. Next up, I got these ones directly from the band. The band in question is Our Hollow, Our Home, and I got their album Heartsick, which I got signed also. Excellent, excellent album. So if you want some really solid metalcore, definitely check out this album, melodic metalcore specifically. And then we have their second album entitled In Moment, In Memory. And as you can see, I got them both signed, which I also got another copy of each album signed for my fiancée, which she's got in her collection. So I know I'm a good fiancée. What can I say? Anyway, next up we have the new Periphery album titled Periphery 4. Is it Periphery 4? Yeah, with Heal Stan. Yeah, solid album. It's quite forgetful in honesty, but it is still better than Periphery 3, if you ask me, because that one, in my opinion, was their weakest album. That's just my opinion. Next up, another great one from 2019, Paula with Nova. Excellent stuff. If you're into melodic hardcore like The Ghost Inside, definitely check that one out. Then we have a couple of albums from the band REIVEW. So if you're into melodic metalcore, definitely check these guys out with their debut album. I believe this is their debut album, Divided Kingdom. Excellent, excellent stuff. And then the deluxe edition of their new album entitled Breathe Again, which is this one, which contains a couple of acoustic bonus tracks and a live track. So make sure you check this out. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad they're back, and I just need to see them live, but we'll see what happens in the upcoming future. Next up, a couple of albums from Seor. I believe this is all their studio albums so far, but I got their debut album entitled Aura, and as you can see, got it signed. Really, really happy about that, and this is an absolutely amazing, beautiful album. Oop, put that on. Sorry, a bit of rearranging right here. Yeah, that should do. Then we have their second album, Guardians, which is also signed. Really happy to own that one. And then their latest album, which is incredible, called Forgotten Paths. Like, oh my god, this is absolutely fantastic, and you can just see there, signed once again. Really happy to have this. If you haven't checked this out and you're into atmospheric black metal, make sure you do so. It's breathtaking, if you ask me, and that's what I look for me, atmospheric black metal. It has to be breathtaking. Anyway, next up, some rap we've got right here with Scarlord with Infinity, which is this one right here, or 0000.infinity. Yeah. If you're into your rap, make sure you check this out. If you're into your rap and you're into metal, you will love this. It's so unique sounding, but it's so aggressive. But I feel like Doom was definitely a better album, if you ask me, but I feel like this one is a lot more cleaner sounding, and it's not as aggressive, but it's still pretty aggressive. So definitely check this out if you haven't already, if you're into that sort of stuff. Next up, Sea of Treachery with At Daggers Drawn. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, I haven't checked this out yet, but I really am looking forward to checking it out. Next up, I've got a couple of releases from Shields, rest in peace, with their, I believe this is their third EP or second EP, entitled Guilt. Yeah, so happy to finally own this. I've been looking for it for quite a while now. And then their, I believe this is their debut album and last album, entitled Life in Exile, which I've done a review on this channel, so make sure you check it out. But this is some incredible, incredible stuff. If you're into metalcore, it's definitely up your alley. Next up, got these through Chugcore, so let's get through it. So we've got the debut, this is from Shokran, by the way, and this is their debut album entitled Supreme Truth. Excellent, excellent stuff. Then we have their second album entitled Exodus, which is this one. Yeah, both of these, or all of these, contain the CD and the instrumental version, if I'm not mistaken. So, is it instrumental? Yeah. So, really happy about that. And then we have their latest one, which I reviewed on the channel, which is called Ethereal, which is this one right here. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, the guys signed it before it was sent out. So I'm really, really happy about this. It went over to America and then back to the UK. I can't remember where they're from exactly or where it was shipped from. But yeah, check out my review of this. One of the best of 2019. Next up, Soul with Into the Mouth of Hell. Some incredible deathcore right here. Some kind of influenced by down tempo and beat down. So yeah, heavy as fuck. Love that. Next up, we have Stillbloom with their debut album Downer. And then also, I got probably my favourite EP of 2019. This is so goddamn good. I've done a review, check it out. This is Stillbloom with Melancholia. Holy fucking shit, man. This is just so good. It's just noisy, chaotic, and just heavy as fuck. This is some heavy shit right here. Excellent stuff. Next up, we've got Street Soldier with One Man Gang, which obviously, as you know, I got Hard Mentality on tape, which I'm hoping to get the CD if they release that, so fingers crossed for the upcoming future. But I've got One Man Gang, and I'm hoping to get Northern Hate if that gets released on CD as well, so we'll see what happens. Next up, in the last updates and purchases, I said I'd got the latest Tesseract album, and I realised that I hadn't got the debut album, which is called One, which is this one. Nice spot gloss on there. Yeah, I found this on eBay really cheap with a bonus DVD, which I can't wait to watch. So, yeah, excellent album. Gent Lords, if you ask me. Next up, rest in peace, these guys. This is Those Who Fear with Unholy Anger. And I also got the follow-up album to that, which is called Death Sentence. Some really solid hardcore, kind of modern hardcore. So if you're into that sort of stuff, definitely check it out. Next up, we have Times of Grace with The Hymn of a Broken Man. Absolutely breathtaking. It's, if I'm not mistaken, Adam and Jesse from Killswitch Engage, basically just doing some very melodic but very emotional filled metalcore right here. So if you're into Killswitch Engage, definitely check this one out. I had no idea about it until I got told about it, and I was like, fuck me, that is just gives us chills just listening to it. Anyway, next up we have Tongues with their self-titled EP, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, really happy about this one. Yeah, it's a bit of a rarity. If I'm not mistaken, it's the former vocalist of Aversion's Crown, kind of like down-tempo sort of stuff. But it's number 29 out of 90 or 40. I can't read that. So if anyone else has this EP, let us know if it's 40 or 90, because I would like to know. But yeah, 29, it's quite a low number, but what can you do? Anyway, really happy to own that anyway. Next up, we have Towers with Into the Void. This is the reissued version. Some really good progressive deathcore sort of stuff, but really influenced by down-tempo. The new Traitors the new Traitors album with Repent. I've done a review, as I said. Check it out, link down below. Trifixian with A Utopia for the Damned. Yeah, really solid album. I used to love this album back in the day, so I'm really happy to finally have it back in my collection. Need to rekindle my love for it in the upcoming future, but we'll see what happens. Next up, Tyranny Enthroned with Our Great Undoing. Got this on Amazon really cheap, so really sick black and death metal. If you're into that sort of stuff, definitely check it out. If you're into hate, you'd find something to love about that. Next up, we have the latest Unearth with Extinctions. I believe it's Extinctions, but it's just written weirdly. But yeah, great album. Definitely improvement on the last one. Next up, we have Varials with Pain Again. So happy to finally have this. As you know, I got the shirt, so to have the CD is just mind-blowing, because this is violent as fuck. Love it. Then we have the new Vargrave album with Reign in Supreme Darkness. If you're into Emperor, you'll find something to love about this. It's absolutely fantastic stuff. I need to check out their debut album, because apparently it is pristine. Apparently, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, anyway, next up, apparently this is a rarity, which I didn't realise, but oh well. This is Volumes with Via. So I don't know if this is a rarity, because it is going, it is hard to find, but it's not going for too expensive. I mean, I got this for like just under £6 or something like that, maybe just over, but yeah, it's fantastic. It's classic gens, so if you're into that sort of stuff, definitely check it out. Next up, we have Awake in Providence with The Black Sun, The Blood Moon. Yeah, if you're into deathcore, this is definitely for you. This is very unique stuff. If you're into Thy Art Is Murder or Whitechapel, then this is definitely for you. And it's also got some cleaner vocals in there, which might put you off, but honestly, the power that's behind it is just incredible. So make sure you check it out. Fantastic stuff. 2019's absolutely killing it, if you ask me. Next up, we have the new While She Sleeps album, which is released this year, entitled So What. And this is obviously the book edition with a, I don't even think it's got anything to it except for it's a book. Oh well, but yeah, absolutely love this album. It's not as catchy as the previous ones, but it's still a damn good While She Sleeps album. Anyway, I'm so scared in case these fall. But anyway, next up we have another one I've reviewed on the channel. This is Whitechapel with The Valley. Everyone's heard it by now. It's absolutely fantastic, and if you think it's short because there's clean vocals on it, have a word with yourself. I bet you listen to prog and stuff like that and see it, but you know. Anyway, moving on, we have a classic deathcore album, Winds of Plague, with Decimate the Weak. I believe this came out 12 years ago. Fucking hell. But yeah, absolutely classic MySpace deathcore, symphonic, and just classic, if you ask me. And then the final one is some thrash metal right here, and this is Xentrix with Bury the Pain. Now, I said this in quite a while back. When I got Xentrix Shattered Existence, I believe it was called, or For Whose Advantage, I got 2 albums of them from my auntie, because she got us into them, and I was really, really impressed with them, and they hadn't done any material since then, but they recently reformed and did a new album, and I have to say, this blew my fucking mind. This is absolutely fantastic. So if you're into thrash, definitely check this out. It's definitely one of the best releases of 2019. So if you want some quality stuff, look no further. So yeah, that is the full updates and purchases that we've got for you. So yeah, I've got another update coming fairly soon, but I'll save that for a future video. I'm not going to tell you now in case things, you know, get delayed and stuff like that. But obviously news on Casting Tephra will be coming in the upcoming future, and more reviews and other content will be on its way. I'm just trying to not stress myself out with too many videos at any given point, just to, you know, less stress on myself. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this updates and purchases, and there's going to be more content coming in the upcoming future. And I'll see you until next video, and remember, stay metal, and I'll see you later.